Hello, once again, this is Antonio, and I'm coming at you with another exciting video. First of all, thank you for all my new subscribers, as we are definitely in the process of growing this platform. Um, we have released over 780 videos on the platform, so I'm quite sure that it's worthwhile to subscribe to the channel because you would definitely find some interesting content that we are doing. I want to definitely beef up the content that we're doing, make it better. Um, with all that being said, please subscribe to the channel as we are coming into our own and making the platform better. Better content, better topics. So let's talk about the topic of right now. 5 former job turkeys. I mean, 5 former Memphis police officers are indicted on federal charges in the place of the deletion of Tyre Nichols. So these job turkeys thought they were invincible. Not only did they think they was invincible, they were downright menacing in the things that they did to Tadarrius Nichols. Well, now the chickens have come home to roost. And because they chickens have come home to roost, it's time for some action. And the action is they're going to get their day in court. And their day in court is what a lot of people were waiting on. A lot of people were waiting on. I can't play the horrific video of what happened to Mr. Nichols on his way home and the actions of these job turkeys. And don't get me wrong, I love police. I think the police are great. The great cops, right? But bad cops need to be off of the streets. They need to be off of the streets. And I know a lot of people might be like, you love the police? I am the police. Well, when that bastard is digging into your refrigerator, because we live in a lawless society, then you're gonna be begging for the police. Even some gangsters call the police, right? Truth. Even some gangsters that found their name on paperwork. All right, they found their name on paperwork. 5 former police officers involved in deadly beating of Tyre Nichols indicted on federal charges. They don't look like the same people that were on the thumbnail that I put out there. These job turkeys look rough and stuff, right? So the 5 job turkeys involved in the deadly police beating of Tyre Nichols have been indicted by a federal grand jury according to court filings. The 5 former job turkeys, Tadarrius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Emmitt Martin III. I know Emmitt Martin Jr. is probably looking at this bastard like, I can't believe my son would do something like this. Desmond Mills Jr. And I know Desmond Mills, Desmond Mills Sr. Probably the same thing. And Justin Smith are facing several charges, including federal civil rights, conspiracy, obstruction, offenses resulting in Nichols' deletion. Tadarrius Nichols, a 29-year-old black man, was vitally beaten by Memphis police officers in January and was deleted in the hospital from his injuries. Nichols was reportedly punched and kicked by the 5 job turkeys from the Memphis Police Department. The officers conducted a traffic stop and brief foot chase. He required hospitalization after the encounter and was deleted 3 days later. The reason why I'm saying deleted and not the other word is because you got to be extremely careful of the words that you do on YouTube. And the reason why I say that is on YouTube, when you get those yellow checks, that yellow dollar sign, that means that you are wasting your time doing the video because you're not going to make $1. I did a video on Brother Polite, and guess what happened? A big thumbs down. So certain topics you got to be extremely careful, and certain words you got to be extremely careful of what you say. You dig? All right. So the officers who violate the civil rights of those they are sworn to protect undermine public safety, which depends on the community's trust and law enforcement. Attorney General Merrick Garland said in a statement. So that means that what happened was the government, the federal government took over state charges. They didn't even allow the guys to come up on state charges. Interesting, right? They make sure it wasn't going to be no undermining going on. Garland added the Justice Department will continue to hold accountable officers who betray their oath, right? The federal indictment says the 5 men willfully deprived Nichols of his constitutional rights to be free from an unreasonable seizure, which includes the right to be free from the use of unreasonable force by a police officer. The former officers unlawfully assaulted Nichols and willfully failed to intervene in the unlawful assault. That means that other officers didn't step in to assist with the unlawful arrest. So a bad cop has to pay for what they did to the good cops got to pay for because the bad cops. So all of these job turkeys got to pay together. CNN has reached out to attorneys for the 5 officers for comment. A lawyer for Justice Smith declined to comment. This is going to be cause used to change gears a little bit. This adds another layer of things that we'll have to look into and investigate. Blake Ballin, a defense attorney for Desmond Mills, told CNN, reacting to the indictment. All right. We have been expecting the federal indictment, and it does not change Mr. Mills' position. Ballin said in another statement to CNN, as in the state case, and Mr. Mills maintains his innocence. Boy, if you don't sit yourself down somewhere telling you innocent. Innocent in what? What are you innocent? So now y'all gonna start, the cops gonna start snitching on each other. They're gonna, oh boy, this is gonna be a bloodbath, baby. They're gonna definitely start snitching on each other. I want to see if any of them walked, because they all turned it all on another former cop. See, when you do the crime together, what tends to happen is somebody going to say, well, I don't want to be a co-defender. So because I don't want to be a co-defender, what I want to do is I'm going to say Charlie Boy did it. Charlie Boy going to say, oh, I didn't do nothing. He did it. And this is how things work. He would turn himself in on federal indictment and continue to defend himself against the allegations in both the state and federal court systems. Oh, you so bold. You're so bold. The Deaf reunited a national debate on justice and policing and reform, rocking a nation long accustomed to videos of police brutality, especially against people of color. It also spurred protests and vigils in Memphis and other major U.S. cities. If anything, we are so hopeful that today sent a chilling effect that police officers across America, said Benjamin Crump, an attorney for Nichols' family, during a news conference today, that not only are you going to be under the review by the state, but Merrick Garland and the Biden administration have sent the warning and set a precedent that the federal government is going to defend the civil rights for all American citizens against anybody, whether they are wearing a badge or not. All right. The 5 Jive turkeys are also facing state charges. Boy, this is an expensive case. I wonder who funded there. I wonder if they got GoFundMe's up. Who is funding this for them? It's interesting. In Tennessee, related to Nichols' death, which they have pleaded not guilty to in a federal civil lawsuit. All 5 were terminated by the Memphis Police Department. When some officers violate the Constitution, when they use excessive force, when they ignore serious injuries inflicted on people they arrest, their actions erode public's trust, said Assistant Attorney General Christian Clark, who leads the Justice Department Civil Rights Division, during a news conference on Tuesday. Since January 2021, the Justice Department has brought more than 100 prosecutions involving violations of constitutional and legal rights by law enforcement officials. In the same period, the department obtained more than 86 convictions. Now, look at that. That is an 86% basically conviction rate. That is high. That is telling you if you do the crime, Garland is coming for you. Body camera videos and surveillance footage from Nichols' arrest were released on January 27th, publicly revealing the severity of the beating and sparking widespread condemnation from residents and police officials. The country prosecutor said at the time the videos contradicted what officers said happened in the initial report. So we already know they tried to do the cover-up thing. We already see what's happening. The Nichols family filed a federal lawsuit against Memphis. The family filed $550 million federal lawsuit in April against the city of Memphis, its police department, and what the suit said were unqualified, untrained, and unsupervised officers are assigned to the Scorpion unit. They are not going to get that amount of money, but I'm going to stay on top of this case because we clearly know that this is going to go to distance. This is going to go to distance. And this is going to be very interesting because they got to not only go state, they're going to have to go federal. So definitely going to stay on top of this case. This is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, subscribe, as we will see you once again in the next video.